You can have your say as well through our CityOnline phone poll. Here's your question today. Does high school do enough to prepare students for university? If you say yes, call us at 416-872-8003. For no, 416-872-8004. And we'll get those results to you at the end of the show. But joining us to talk about today's topic is Sunjay Nath. He's an author and a professional speaker on student leadership. And what do you think about this? So like 1 in 6 are not graduating.
1 in 6, I think actually it's a great stat. I actually read that this morning and went, oh, this is good. I don't see a problem here at all.
Unless yours is the kid that's not making the grade.
Well, actually, no, that's not true at all. Because if you're not making the grade, it's for one of a couple of reasons. Number one, you're not liking what you're doing.
Okay.
And if you're following, and the survey actually goes on to say that it's within the first semester. And I go, that's a great time to learn that. As opposed to going in, graduating, becoming whatever career you don't want to be, 30 years later retiring, and then going, my life is miserable.
Right.
I think it's a really low price to pay to go, heck, you know what, I'm doing the wrong thing.
Could it also be that now, you know, especially in Ontario, kids are going in university at 17? Is that one of the reasons? Maybe they're immature, they're not prepared?
I don't know if I buy that, because you look around the country, there's most students are doing that. Ontario switched over a few years back, but I don't know. I don't buy that as the main culprit.
Okay, and is it high schools then? Are kids going into university unprepared or ill-prepared?
You see, it becomes a double-edged sword. Go back 20 years ago, and there were so many parents complaining, going, oh, it's so hard to get an A. My kid's never getting an education. They're never getting university. And what they actually did is they complained enough that the standards got lower. So people got better grades, more people got into university, and now the system's caught up to them. To me, this is a good thing. If you want a tree to grow taller, you need to prune the tree. You get rid of the older leaves.
So you're saying the people who are going to drop out are probably deadwood, not going to do that well anyway,
no,
going to be miserable?
No, I'm saying that university may not be for them. I come from the belief that university is not a right, it's a privilege. And if every parent had their wish and every one of their kids that they wanted to become a doctor became a doctor, we would be overrun with doctors. There wouldn't be any engineers, there would be no bricklayers, there'd be no welders, there'd be no veterinarians or teachers.
Right.
So I go, this is the way of the system correcting itself.
Okay. All right, let's get to the phones. Anders is our first caller. Hey, Anders.
I would have to say that it's a double-edged sword. First, you have the public system not giving the students the tools they need to succeed. Like, I have several friends who have children going into their first year of high school that can't do their multiplication tables. I noticed this to be a problem after, say, the early 90s. I graduated from secondary school in 95, and I was told on many occasions, slow down, the rest of the class is trying to catch up with you, they're not all as good as you are. So the dumbing down matter did present itself at the secondary level, and later on when I went into post-secondary, I think what happens is that the majority of the people are told to slow down, not excel in their curriculum achievements, because the minority are either not.
Well, let me ask you. Let me ask you this, Sunjay. Do you think that there's a pressure on universities to keep the bums in the seats, so to speak, and keep that tuition coming? So they're not going to say to some kid, you know, you just don't make the grade, you should drop out. Just to keep that person's money flowing. Yeah,
there's other economic reasons. A lot of the funding comes based on how many students you have. And that's why you have recruitment. Recruitment strategy is constantly going on. So yeah, you do have political issues here, but there's also a big education component too. And they actually almost know that people are going to drop out.
Okay. All right, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back with more of your calls when we return. There's a look at all our Ryerson neighbors here at Yonge Dundas, heading off for lunch. And that's what we're talking about today with author and professional speaker Sunjay Nath. We're talking about a study out of Stats Canada on university dropout rates. And the big concern is that high school students might not be making that transition in first year. Let's see what you think. Peter's on the line. Hi, Peter. Peter, are you there?
I am now.
Okay, hi Peter. What do you think about this? Is it the high school's fault, or do you like Sunjay, do you think it's a good thing?
You know what? I think it is the high school's fault, and partly the parents' fault and the boards of education, because people seem to have forgotten that the whole point of high school is to prepare high school students for college and or university. And they're not doing that because, you know, for example, my wife has gone back to college, and already the teeny boppers right out of high school are complaining about too much homework. We keep hearing all these studies, oh, we get too much homework. The tests are too stressful. That's the whole point. If you learn how to deal with the stress in high school, you can deal with it in college or university.
Yeah, but you're saying we make high school a little too easy for kids.
Yes. I mean, when I was in high school, there were 3 classes of students. There was basic, general, and then advanced. Presumably, the advanced class was for the kids going to university. I went to college because I was in mostly, general and advanced.
Right.
And I got prepared for
that was called streaming back in the day, and we didn't like streaming. We changed it.
We went through the de-streaming. And yeah, it's I'm saying is, if you go back 20 years ago, you had exactly what Peter's talking about, which is it was different, and people were prepared more, but then you had people complaining going, well, my kids, it's not fair. It's too stressful for them in high school. Let them deal with the stress when they go off to college and university.
Right.
So
But that just can't happen overnight.
Well, but we've got to that. If you look at the statistics, we are getting a heck of a lot more people with 80s and 90s averages now than they were 20 years ago. So now we've reduced the stress out of
high school.
And now it's there. So we put it back. I guarantee you're going to have people complaining, going, well, this isn't fair. They're only 16, 15, 14 years old. They shouldn't be going through this stress. Let them deal with that when they go to college or university.
Yeah, high school's too tough.
That's it.
Yeah. All right, Anne's on the line next. Hello, Anne.
Hello.
Hi, Anne. Do you think high schools are doing enough to prepare kids for university?
Well, I'm a high school teacher, and my biggest complaint is that the students are able to hand things in whenever they want. They don't have to abide by deadlines. And as a teacher, I have to take it. So, I've told my grade 12 students on several occasions, when I've been teaching university-level classes in high school, that if I say that this is due at 3 p.m., I want it at 3 p.m. I'm not going to take it at 3:01 because they're not going to do that in university. And then the problem that I have is parents calling in saying to me, well, Johnny has to work and he has to do this and he has to take care of his younger brother, and my hands are tied because I can't accept it, or I have to accept it later, excuse me. And so they're not being prepared because they're not able to deal with that hard work that they're supposed to do when they're in university.
Yeah, and let's face it, the workplace is about deadlines. It's all about, getting something done on time.
Right.
So what do you say to teachers like Anne?
Well, I mean, the thing is, obviously, again, you have a political game that you're playing as a teacher, that you want what's best for the students, but you also have a certain responsibility to the education system and playing that balance. The thing is, as long as you make the students aware, you can't teach them unless they want to be taught. So what I'm saying is you set that precedent, you explain it to them, and then, are there rules that you are going to kind of get sucked into? Yeah, but at the end of the day, if you teach the student so they know that it's supposed to be handed in and they know they can get away with the system, eventually the system's going to catch up to them.
Okay.
I was telling you this at the break, that my wife actually was put on academic probation after her first year of university. And that is, if you ask her, it was one of the greatest things that happened to her. They basically kicked her out of school for a year and said, come back in a year. And so what people do is do one of two things. Either they go, oh, that's great, university wasn't for me, and they find a different path.
Right.
Or they go, I'll show you, and they try twice as hard, they go back. My wife's currently working on her 4th degree, which is a PhD right now.
Wow, that's incredible. That's a good story. Tina's our next caller. Hello, Tina. Hello? Are you there?
Hello, Tina.
Hello.
Hi, Tina.
Hello, I'm from Port Hope.
Yes?
Yes. I'm a former teacher. I'm retired. I taught in both Quebec and Ontario.
And what do you think about this whole issue?
Well, I think the children are highly unprepared for university. And to begin with, they should be graded as to whether they are serious about university, well enough educated to go there. Not everybody should go to university.
Well, this is what we were saying.
Too.
Yeah, and university is not for everyone. What's wrong with being a plumber? What's wrong with being
There's nothing. We need them, and we need good worksmen. But the problem with the children today is they want everything easy. Parents are giving them far too much too easily, and they don't realize they have to work for what they get.
Okay, that's a very good point, Tina. Thank you for your call. We have to take a short break. We'll be right back.